Here's your news for May 12th, 2020, and your headlines for today. The baddest man on the planet will make his debut for AEW. Alberto Del Rio assaulted victim for 16 hours. WWE introduces a new crossover rule. Charlotte Flair returns to Smackdown. Sami Callihan accuses WWE of stealing his idea. Iconic WWE wrestler ditches WWE and signs with AEW, and more. We're kicking off with some huge news regarding AEW, as the company may soon be working with arguably the greatest boxer of all time, Mike Tyson. Recently, the WWE Hall of Famer tweeted that he was back, and despite being 53, Tyson remains in phenomenal shape, meaning a return to the boxing ring is a possibility. After this message from Tyson, AEW posted a photo of him with Brandy Rhodes backstage at Double or Nothing, seemingly teasing a cameo appearance on Dynamite. AEW's Executive Vice President Cody also teased working with the boxing legend as he responded to an ESPN ringside video of Mike announcing his comeback, signaling that he is watching Tyson closely. Tyson, of course, is no stranger to wrestling, as he worked with the WWE in early 1998, serving as the guest enforcer for the WrestleMania 14 main event between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels, and even served as the guest host of Raw many years later. Fans will have to wait and see whether Tyson does appear for AEW, as even one appearance by the boxing legend on Dynamite would get the relatively new show some major mainstream exposure. We're looking at WWE next, as Seth Rollins left an impression on Rey Mysterio in a big way on this week's edition of Monday Night Raw. When Rollins and Murphy faced Rey and Aleister Black, the match was stopped early after the Monday Night Messiah jammed Mysterio's eye into the corner of the steel steps, with the Master of the 619 requiring medical attention in the trainer's room. The damage was so severe that officials needed to take Rey's mask off, and when Rollins walked in, saying he didn't know what happened out there, both he and his disciple were fought off by Black. It'll be interesting to see where WWE goes from here, and hopefully fans will get an update on Rey's eye very soon. Speaking of the Master of the 619, while he may be dealing with this new eye injury, fans shouldn't expect Rey Mysterio to be going to any other companies for the foreseeable future. We previously reported that Mysterio's contract was up in September, but according to Jim Ross on the latest edition of his podcast, the WWE's Ultimate Underdog has inked a new deal with the company. Given that Rey was hurled from the top of WWE headquarters during the Money in the Bank ladder match, there was speculation that this was a way to write off Mysterio from TV, though Dave Meltzer noted on Twitter that the former world champion won't be going anywhere. We've got some huge news regarding Becky Lynch now, as fans finally got an answer as to why the man hasn't been on TV since WrestleMania. It's because the man is pregnant. Originally, Lynch was scheduled to confront Miss Money in the Bank Asuka on this week's show, but instead emerged carrying the coveted briefcase and fighting back tears, saying she was torn between sadness and joy. Revealing that she'd asked the decision-makers to raise the stakes, Lynch was quickly confronted by Asuka, who demanded her briefcase back, though the man told her, "You go be a warrior, because I'm going to be a mother." Opening the briefcase, Lynch awarded Asuka with the Raw Women's Championship, who danced in celebration before embracing the man, who left the ring with a tear in her eye. On behalf of everyone here at SlatRock, we want to congratulate Lynch and her fiancé Seth Rollins on their first child, and this may go down in history as the most unique cash-in of all time. More news from the man, as following her major pregnancy announcement, Lynch spoke to People magazine about what this means for her career. In the interview, Lynch said that she'd always wanted children, but was often too busy chasing her dream of becoming a professional wrestler, and also spoke about knowing that Seth Rollins was the one she wanted to start a family with. She said, "When we got together, things started to look a lot clearer, and I knew he was the person that I wanted to have kids with, that this was going to happen, and it was just a matter of when. Seth is one of the smartest people I know. He's just got an insane work ethic, insane integrity, and he is the most generous, kind-hearted person. He's very, very focused on what the right thing to do is, and always looking to grow and correct himself and be better so he can be the best person for me, and now the best father." The now former Raw Women's Champion also revealed that she took her first test incorrectly, adding, I took a few more tests until I got a digital one that just said the word pregnant. I was with Seth at the time, and he just threw his hands up in the air, all excited. Now, Lynch will be leaving WWE for a while, but fans can expect a huge return down the line when the mom comes around. From one Raw superstar to another next, as though many people across WWE were happy for Lynch and Rollins, one person who wasn't is Shayna Baszler. Cutting a promo backstage during Raw, the Queen of Spades was asked for her reaction and said, "Reaction? How stupid do you have to be to get knocked up when you're the champion? Here's the fact, 10 out of 10 mothers will try to convince you that pregnancy didn't ruin their career. You're trying to tell me that Becky Lynch becomes the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion and throws it all away just to house some miserable parasite? Imagine the man barefoot, fat on the couch, eating bonbons. Yeah, that kid's gonna... You know who the father is? Yeah, I rest my case." Of course, Seth Rollins is the father, as Rey Mysterio congratulated him shortly before their tag team match, as did Charlotte Flair, who took to Twitter to say that she was happy for both Lynch and Rollins. Though many have been congratulating the happy couple, that clearly doesn't include Baszler, who won't be sending any baby shower gifts to the former Raw Women's Champion anytime soon. We're looking at uncomfortable news regarding Alberto Del Rio next, as more details have emerged about his alleged sexual assault on his girlfriend. Now, TMZ is reporting that the attack included tying her up and sexually assaulting the victim with various objects, and it's been said that the former WWE champion continued this attack for 16 hours. This terrible incident allegedly lasted from 10 p.m. on May 3rd until 2:30 p.m. on May 4th, and if convicted, Del Rio faces a minimum prison sentence of 2 years for sexual assault under Texas law, though no court date has been set. Del Rio was released from incarceration after posting bail of $50,000, and we'll try to keep you updated on this worrying story as the case continues. Back to the ring now, and given that top stars such as Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch are gone for the foreseeable future, the company has reportedly taken some drastic action to increase their ratings. According to a report by Post Wrestling, a new crossover rule will be introduced, which will allow Raw and SmackDown superstars to work both shows. Given that the current global situation has limited how many stars the company has to use, as well as the ratings, this certainly makes sense, though F4W Online has reported that the company will try to keep wrestlers crossing over to a minimum. This rule certainly sounds similar to the wildcard rule the company had around this time a year ago, which was used often, and time will tell whether WWE will be able to show more restraint this time. We are looking back at Money in the Bank next, as this year's show wasn't just the most unique version of the pay-per-view ever, but it was also much shorter than previous iterations. Though events outside of the Big Four last around 3 or more hours, this year's event lasted around 2.5 hours, the shortest pay-per-view since Insurrection 2002, and fans can expect this trend to continue. According to a report by Wrestling News, Vince McMahon is the one behind the shorter pay-per-views. As they reported, Vince McMahon wanted a shorter show, and the plan is for pay-per-view times to be shorter until they can get fans back in the arenas. It'll be interesting to see if WWE are able to keep this trend of shorter pay-per-views going, as it is looking more likely that the company will have to move their SummerSlam event from Boston, which should take place on August 23rd, as Boston's mayor has said that there will be no big events until September 7th at the earliest. Of course, everything is up in the air given the current global situation, but for now, fans may have to get used to much shorter, quicker pay-per-views in the coming months. Back to TV now, and not only will next week's edition of Raw be taped in advance, but there have already been some matches revealed for the show via WWE's official Twitter. As part of the crossover rule, SmackDown's King Corbin will face WWE Champion Drew McIntyre in non-title action, and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross will defend their women's tag team titles against the Iconics, who return to TV and beat the champions in non-title action this week. It'll certainly be a happy homecoming for the Aussies next week if they win the titles for the second time, though fans will remember that it was Bliss and Cross who took the women's tag titles in the first place back in the summer of 2019. From Raw to SmackDown now, as the Blue brand has been plagued by a hacker in recent weeks, and one person who isn't impressed is former Impact World Champion Sami Callihan. Taking to Twitter during Money in the Bank, Callahan criticized WWE for what he described as mediocre green screen effects, adding that the company was ripping off his original work, as Callahan did have a hacker-style character during his brief time with the company. Concluding his tweet, the former world champion told WWE that they'll never be like him, as I guess that's one name we can rule out being behind the Smackdown hacker's mask. From Impact to AEW now, as there have been certain clues as of late that WWE Hall of Famer Sting could soon be All Elite. Recently, Sting's figure was pulled from Mattel's WWE Legends series, which would have seen him appear in plastic form alongside Scott Hall, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and Bobby Heenan. This news was broken by the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, which is hosted by Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, who noted the verbiage Mattel used, as they said that the decision to pull Sting was due to circumstances out of Mattel's control, leading some to speculate that he is AEW bound. AEW's executive VP Cody Rhodes also fanned the rumor mill flames as he replied to the tweet from the Major Figure podcast and also shared a tweet from Sting himself where he praised Lance Archer's work on Dynamite. Time will tell whether AEW can pull Sting from WWE's clutches, and if they do, it'd certainly be a huge win for the alternative to Vince McMahon's sports entertainment. And finally today, we're ending with some backstage notes from Money in the Bank now, as it turns out that the titular ladder matches weren't the only matches to be pre-taped. According to a source for Wrestling News, the Universal title match between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt was also recorded in advance, as the company didn't want to risk accidentally showing the puppeteers who controlled Bray's puppets in the crowd. The main event itself has some big backstage news as well, as at one moment, AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan brawled in Vince McMahon's office, though this could have been much different. A writer for WWE has revealed that there were plans for more superstars to fight in the boss's boardroom, although this was scrapped by McMahon, who didn't want anyone near his giant dinosaur skull. The skull itself was a gift from Vince's son-in-law Triple H when the game was filming The Chaperone, and it's hardly surprising that the unquestionable king of wrestling promotions has a tribute to the king of dinosaurs.